Welcome to Study Buddies. This is a recording of the meeting that will be talking about research opportunities going on at UCSD and the San Diego VA, who are recruiting right now and hoping to connect with veterans at the core clinic. Today, we're going to be talking about what is research, what are some benefits of participating in research, and what studies are available right now. So I do have a few options, about 7 studies in total, and we'll try to make that really clear cut. But if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, our recovery coach at CORE. We'd love to answer those questions. To start off, research is kind of a complicated thing. I think we have a lot of ideas about what research is, either the way that we see it in the media or, movies. And, what we want to keep in mind is that research here at the San Diego VA and at UCSD, these partners that work together between those two institutions, is really trying to improve therapy and improve research, improve the resources that are available for veterans and their family members or their relationships and their providers. So research here is really trying to get more information and really fine tune what we know about mental health and our brains and our bodies. So that's really the reason that I think that this is an important thing for us to have information on, because as we go, it's really important for us to know what the options are, know what the benefits are, and know, kind of what was available to us. So some benefits of participating in research, I'll go over quickly. There are benefits for other veterans. So as you participate in research, the treatments get better. We get more information and we're able to, provide that information sooner. So that can really help other veterans and other veteran care. We improve the mental health treatments when we participate in research. This is really where these things get tested, and then this is how they get credibility. So if a treatment is really good, but there's no one who's willing to do the research on it, we might not know about it. A lot of the research that I use that informs the way I provide care comes from these kinds of research studies. So in participating, you really move that forward faster, and that's so valuable to our whole field. When you participate in these research projects, you receive really high quality care. So people here really care that you benefit and that it's enjoyable and that it's a positive experience, because they want you to come back and want to be there and show up for all the meetings. It's really important to them. So that helps us just to know that when we participate in research, we are receiving really high quality care, and there's lots of layers of safety in place that make sure that the care that we're getting is as safe as possible, and we're only offering the absolute best information that we can. When we participate in research, we really get very cutting edge care, because these are things that, maybe they're not as well known now, but a group knows about it very well. They're doing the research and other people might be hearing about it down the line. So participating in research is one way to kind of get that kind of cutting edge information. Oftentimes we meet new people. The researchers are very nice. I've so enjoyed working with them. I think they're cool. And through this project, I've gotten to know many of them, and also other people who are participating or just getting out into our community more often can really be some of the goals we have here at CORE. Lastly, but not least, there's an opportunity to earn money. And that can be really helpful if you have goals about saving up for something or you'd like some extra spending money. These research studies can compensate you for your time, because it is a time commitment and your time is valuable. So they do compensate for that. The first study I'll talk about today is the UCSD neurofeedback study. This is a study being run by Dr. Fizza Singh. And this is a study where they are able to offer like kind of a helmet or like a soft cloth helmet that goes on and it can kind of measure our brain waves. And as we're doing that, we watch a video on the screen, and if our attention goes away, the video actually goes away. So I think that that's really interesting. When I heard about it, I was like, I want to try that out. And so that video will kind of stay on as long as your attention's on it, and then go off again if your attention goes away. And so over 12 weeks, twice a week, this study is helping veterans to improve that concentration and improve that kind of do some brain training to improve our kind of mental stamina. So that can be really exciting to try that out and see if you benefit. Like I said, twice a week for 12 weeks. They provide transportation back and forth from your home. And they also provide lunch and snacks. So there's plenty to do there and feel comfortable while you're there during the day, on the days that you're there. The number to call is 858-267-2257. If you'd like to get in touch with them and ask them a few more questions, you can say like, thing you might want to ask, like, how long does this take? Or what are some things I should be aware of or concerned about? And they can really fill you in on that. You can really put these researchers' feet to the fire and ask them all your questions so that you can feel comfortable. A few things to keep in mind is that there are no medications involved in this study. So they won't be offering you any medications. If you're on medications, it's just important to let them know that. They're accepting veterans with a diagnosis of schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder for this study. If you're not sure if that's you, feel free to reach out to someone at CORE who you trust or another provider, and we can let you know that and offer you any information if you have questions about what kind of diagnosis it says on the chart, or if you think that that's maybe not like totally in line what you thought, we would love to give you more information. Also, you can call this 858-267-2257, and ask them to take a look and see if you qualify. So that's totally fine too. They're accepting veterans 18 to 65 years old, and you can earn up to $500 if you attend all of these meetings. So for some people, that's going to be a really good fit, and I hope that you reach out to them. Really cool group of people who are running that study. The MyREX studies are going to be 4 studies we'll talk about, kind of this group or a bucket of studies, the way I'm thinking of it. And in those 4 studies, there's different amounts of time and different requirements, and they can really help you decide which study is going to be the best fit for you. These studies monitor brain waves, and they assess how, I wrote access, I'm sorry. They assess how brain waves affect everyday functioning. There's brain training to boost brain performance. And these researchers were focused on mental health recovery and rehabilitation. That's how they kind of got their start in research. And now all of these studies have kind of come from that work, but these people really care about mental health recovery and rehabilitation. So I feel really aligned with them in that. There are 4 research studies ranging from 1 day, so just like one big long day, and that day can be cut in half if you'd prefer. And then they go as long as about 3 months. And so those longer studies are obviously, maybe something that maybe you're excited about committing to something like that, or maybe that's too long for you. And either way is totally fine. The research assistants can help you determine which study is going to be best for you based on your preferences and your time commitment. Also, what we know is that you could do the 1 day study and see how you like it, and then decide to continue working with that research team. There's no reason not to continue. This group of studies is accepting all sorts of mental health concerns. So for people who experience depression or bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, or anxiety or PTSD, all of these things are available to be included in these studies. So if that sounds like you, and if you'd like to try something out to see how you like this kind of research, go ahead and give them a call at 619-543-7201. This study has a big range in how much they're able to compensate. So for that really brief 1 day study, it's going to be about $250. And for some of these longer studies that are more involved, you can earn up to $2,000. So I think that's really exciting. If that's something that sounds good to you. What I'll just, as a shout out, Two of these studies are, there's no medication, and they're hoping to do some other kind of observation and interview. But for two of the studies, there are actually medications available, and they can get you more and more information about what medication is, what potential side effects could be, and what the potential benefits could be. If you are interested in one of these medication studies because you're feeling like, my concentration's been really bad, or, I just haven't been able to remember things. I'm worried about my cognitive, right? That kind of thinking, that big word for thinking, functioning. This might be something to explore, right? Because we know that some of these research studies are that kind of cutting edge treatment where things are coming down the pike. And we may be able to get in at kind of the ground floor for this. So keep it in mind that if you are looking for, or if you're open to medications, then there are options here. And if you're not interested in medications, then that's totally fine as well. There are two studies that I wasn't able to present at the Study Buddies meeting about a week or so ago. And so I'm excited to offer them here. These are the UCSD studies. And these studies are going to consist mostly of some surveys to fill out. And this is kind of our last bucket that we'll be talking about. So to keep in mind, we have the neurofeedback study with Dr. Singh. We have some research, the MyRec studies that are going to be that bucket of 4 that talk about brain waves. And those are run by a few different psychologists that I really respect and admire. And then there's this UCSD bucket that's going to be run by Dr. Colin Depp. And so there are 2 research studies here. The research assistants would be really eager to help you figure out which one's the best fit for you based on your preferences and their availability. But these studies are going to be smartphone surveys that explore connections between mental health concerns and beliefs about ourselves and our relationships. So it's kind of a nice way to figure out a little bit more. Maybe it's interesting to you, maybe it doesn't matter to you, but you're happy to do the surveys and get paid. Either way is totally fine. You can earn between $200 and $300 to complete these surveys. And the phone number to call is 858-534-8838. So all 3 of these kind of buckets of studies, the neurofeedback study, the MyRec studies, and the UCSD studies are going to be able to help us to kind of explore, maybe have something extra to do during our week and be able to earn some money and be compensated for our time. So I think it's a really exciting opportunity. I'll say a quick shout out for why I do this Study Buddies is because I think it's a very special opportunity to be included in research and to learn more about, mental health concerns like schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder that we don't always get as much information as we need about. So CORE really cares about veterans knowing what their options are and what they're invited to be participating in. And I want everyone to know that you really are invited to participate in this research, that it's safe, that we stand by it, that these are our colleagues and that we trust them. And that, if you have concerns, please let us know so that we can maybe find more information for you. I'm happy to do that homework on my end. If you have questions for me, my phone number is in the email you received. It's 619-228-8070. A few things that I'll ask that we keep in mind when talking about research as we close here are that research opportunities are always changing. So I aim to make this recording and the Study Buddies meeting an option about quarterly as they get more information. As you can see, things already changed. If you attended our meeting, there are already a new addition for the UCSD studies. So I try to keep my finger on the pulse of that, but you can always check in with your CORE recovery coach too to see if anything new has been offered. Research studies have many criteria. So these groups of people who are doing the research have so many rules that they have to follow. They have to follow these, and even so that even people who are interested might not be eligible. And that's just okay, right? It can be disappointing sometimes if we're excited, but keep in mind that there are new opportunities coming up all the time. Lastly, that no veteran is required to participate in research, and it does not impact your care in any way if you decide to participate or not. For instance, if someone decided to call one of these numbers that we listed here in the meeting and then decided to change their mind, or maybe they got there and weren't feeling it, or it felt inconvenient, you can stop at any time. And there's no problem with that. So, all that matters here is that you get to participate in what feels good for you and what feels helpful, and that these researchers would be really grateful to kind of pitch their projects and tell you a little bit about them and see if you're interested. So no concerns there. Okay, I really want to thank you for your time today and your willingness to hear me out about the research opportunities and be invited. If you have questions, like I said, please reach out, or reach out to any one of those numbers that I listed here in the meeting. They would love to get you more information. And I will talk to you soon.